The heavens opened and the clouds poured the heart out. Yes, Delhi was deluged with water, but I would say Parliament too had a heady day. It had a very strong start on Friday. People thought maybe as the weather settled in Delhi, Parliament too would settle. But that was not to be. Lok Sabha witnessed a spat between the freshly appointed Speaker Om Birla and the newly minted leader of Opposition Rahul Gandhi. Congress charged the office of Speaker for getting his mic switched off when Mr. Gandhi wanted to speak on the NEET issue. Let me take you through the sequence of events in Lok Sabha.
सर माइक तो दे दीजिए।
माइक मैं बंद नहीं करता हूं, पूर्व में भी आपको व्यवस्था दी थी, यहां कोई बटन नहीं होता। राष्ट्रपति अभिभाषण पर माननीय प्रतिपक्ष के नेता, मेरा विषय है कि आपको दोनों, आप जितना आपकी पार्टी का समय आप पूरा भी ले सकते हैं, मुझे कोई आपत्ति नहीं, आप डिटेल में बोलना, लेकिन एडजॉर्जमेंट मोशन पर और अन्य विषयों पर पहले ही व्यवस्था दे चुके हैं। इसलिए मैं सदन से आग्रह करूंगा कि आप प्रतिपक्ष के नेता हैं, आप संसदीय मर्यादाओं का पालन करेंगे, ऐसी मेरी अपेक्षा आपसे। माइक मैं बंद नहीं करता हूं, पूर्व में भी आपको व्यवस्था दी थी, यहां कोई बटन नहीं होता।
सर माइक तो दे दीजिए।
मैं आपको पूर्व में बता चुका हूं कि आप विषय राष्ट्रपति भाषण में रखें। अभी आपका
नहीं सर,
कोई
हम
रिकॉर्ड में नहीं जाएगा, इसलिए मेरा आग्रह है
उनको, हिंदुस्तान के जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं उनको हम जॉइंट मैसेज देना चाहते थे।
हाँ दें आप।
सुनिए, जॉइंट मैसेज देना चाहते थे ऑपोजिशन और सरकार के साइड से कि इस मुद्दे को हम ज़रूरी मानते हैं और इसीलिए हमने सोचा था कि आज स्टूडेंट्स की रिस्पेक्ट करने के लिए हम नीट पर डिस्कशन करें।
ठीक है, आप
डेडिकेटेड डिस्कशन। अब बात यह है कि दो फोर्सेस हैं, एक तरफ
नहीं माने, ओके, सभा पटल पर रखे जाने वाले पत्र आइटम नंबर 3, श्री अर्जुन मेघवाल जी।
धन्यवाद अध्यक्ष जी। मैं आपकी अनुमति से आज की संशोधित कार्यसूची के क्रम संख्या 3 पर अंकित दस्तावेज जो डॉक्टर जितेंद्र सिंह जी के नाम के आगे उल्लेखित है, आपकी अनुमति से सदन के पटल पर रखता हूं।
माननीय सदस्यगण,
This is what happened in Lok Sabha. Once the Lok Sabha was over, Rahul Gandhi spoke on the matter. In his Twitter account, he posted an account of what happened. Let's listen to what Rahul Gandhi had to say after the House got adjourned.
For all the students who took NEET and also the students who are taking other competitive exams in the country, there's been a disaster as far as NEET is concerned. Everybody knows that the paper was leaked, people made thousands of crores of rupees, and the students were hurt, were damaged. The students studied for years. It's their dream, their aspiration to enter the medical field, and that dream and aspiration has been destroyed and ridiculed. And that is why yesterday in the opposition meeting, I personally raised this issue and I said, look, to send a message to the students that we care for them, we believe in them, they are the future, we need to spend one day discussing NEET. And there was a unanimous agreement among all opposition parties that yes, a discussion on NEET, a one-day discussion on NEET is required and should be done. And we're committed to having that discussion peacefully in a very, very accommodating manner. I tried to raise it in Parliament. Of course, as you saw, I wasn't allowed to speak. This is an issue that has affected 2 crore students. 70 times in 7 years, papers have been leaked. It's clear that there is a systemic problem. It is clear that there is huge amount of corruption, and we simply cannot continue like this. Also, the students want a resolution quickly. So the idea behind the discussion was that we get a resolution to this issue because crores and crores of people, their family members are in pain, They don't know what is going to happen in the future, and it's important that we give them clarity. It's unfortunate that the government didn't want this. It seemed to me that the direction was directly from the Prime Minister. It's sad that the Prime Minister of India, who in fact should be leading the discussion and should be telling us about his opinion and should be telling us about what he is going to do, simply doesn't want a debate. We are ready for a debate, we want a debate, and we don't want to fight with the government. We want to place our views on the table.
The spat opened a Pandora box leading to accusations and counter-accusations. Dipender Hooda from Congress, Manikam Tagore from the Congress and Manoj Tiwari spoke on the issue of mic not functioning.
एक अति महत्वपूर्ण विषय जिससे देश के युवाओं का, करोड़ों युवाओं का भविष्य जुड़ा हुआ है, नीट के में पेपर लीक का मुद्दा राहुल गांधी जी ने जिस रूप से शालीनता से उठाया और कहा कि इस पे दलगत राजनीति से ऊपर उठकर पूरे सदन का एक दृष्टिकोण बने, इस बात की मांग जब उन्होंने करी तो तुरंत उनके प्रस्ताव को न सिर्फ अस्वीकार किया गया, लेकिन उनके माइक को, वो जो बोल ही रहे थे तो माइक को स्विच ऑफ कर दिया गया। ये अच्छी परंपरा नहीं है। नेता विपक्ष को अपनी बात रखने का पूरा अधिकार है, उसके बाद जो निर्णय उस पर लिया जाए, लेकिन उनकी बात के बीच में माइक स्विच ऑफ करना एक अच्छी संसदीय परंपरा नहीं है।
Opposition and ruling benches to send a strong message to the students of our country. The mics were switched off for Mr. Rahul Gandhi. After being a leader of opposition, first time on a debate on a public interest, when Mr. Rahul Gandhi was starting his address itself, the mic switch off story is again starting. It was in the 17th Lok Sabha, we had seen many times mics of the opposition MPs, particularly of our Rahul Gandhi ji, mics has been switched off. The same habits continue. They are afraid about discussion. The government is afraid to speak about NEET and the paper leak issues and about the NTA. We demand, today the whole day, Parliament was again adjourned at 12 o'clock, also we demanded the same thing, and again Rahul Gandhi ji was not allowed to speak, therefore the House was adjourned till Monday.
महामहिम राष्ट्रपति महोदय ने पेपर लीक मामले को राष्ट्रपति अभिभाषण में बोल चुकी हैं। अब उसके बाद क्या बचता है? राहुल गांधी जी, आप विपक्ष के नेता बने हैं, थोड़ी मर्यादा सीखिए। ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी की एनडीए की सरकार है, भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार है, और इस सरकार में न तो कोई छुपाता है और न तो कोई भटकाता है, न लटकाता है। यहाँ सारी चीज़ें क्रिस्टल क्लियर हैं। महामहिम राष्ट्रपति जी का अपने अभिभाषण में पेपर लीक की बात करना और सभी पार्टियों से दलगत भावना से ऊपर उठ के इसका निदान ढूंढने की जब बात कही जाती है, अभी राष्ट्रपति अभिभाषण पे चर्चा हो रही है, आप चर्चा ही नहीं करने दे रहे हैं। आप सोचते हैं कि आप इतने बड़े सत्ता चली गई आपकी, फिर भी अहंकार इतना है कि आप सोचते हैं हम जब कहेंगे वही नियम है। ऐसा हो सकता है क्या?
So I have divided this conversation into a couple of parts. I'm joined by Matthew Anthony, National Spokesperson, Indian National Congress, Suresh Kochital, Political Analyst. I'm joined by Brijesh Pandey, Input Editor of the NEWS9 Live. And discussion is divided into roughly three parts. So the first part is Congress too touchy, or BJP's behavior has not changed after the defeat? To you first, Brijesh.
I think, both of them are acting on the predicted lines. Basically, the Congress wants to assert, and the Congress feel that, with the NEET examination, alleged paper leak, in which CBI has arrested people, the Bihar police and couple of other state police have arrested people. It has put paid to the initial claim of the education minister that there is nothing wrong with the examination or nothing has happened, and we saw him undergoing a 180-degree change in a week's time. The opposition feel that they have a very strong case, and they would feel that, that they should lead with this so that they can put the government on the mat. And on predictable lines, the government would not want to, because, as has been the parampara of the parliament, that you discuss a post once the president has addressed, you discuss on the presidential address and not with any other issue. So both sides are justified.
What about the bike? Because in Rajya Sabha, there is a system in the old house where the mic could go off.
Well, the mic would go off here as well, because a time limit is given to a speaker, like 3 minutes, 5 minutes, depending on what has been communicated to the chair. And if a particular member of parliament crosses that line and despite repeated interjection is not listening to the chair, the person sitting behind with the entire input, he can switch off the mic.
Okay, Mr. Anthony,
Yes, Karthikeyan.
was the mic switched off? Speaker says no, he doesn't have any such button.
Karthikeyan, you have seen the video. While our leader Rahul Gandhi was addressing, a part of the portion was audible to all of us, and then towards the end, we cannot hear him. Now, let me also ask that you all have listened to what our leader Rahul Gandhi has communicated. He said, as the leader of opposition, I'm requesting the government that we hold a combined discussion on this, and we give a trust to the students. Now, let me ask you one thing. If one of our son was there giving the exam, how will we feel? What is the students of India are ashamed of our Prime Minister, who lacks the courage to address with any sense of urgency the future of their education when the trust of the entire examination has been completely lost. They are looking for answers. And as a responsible leader of the opposition, he was trying to raise the voice of the voiceless, the students, amounting to 2 crores and their families. And it is a matter with utmost sense of urgency. And why is the government hesitating to discuss this for the leader of opposition, Rahul Gandhi's request to have this discussed? And let us combinedly give a trust to the students as well as their parents. It is a very important matter. So why is the government or the speaker, who is behaving in a very aggressive manner, in a very partisan manner, in a very rude manner, he's authorizing the mic switch off? That's exactly what we are questioning. So are they so worried about their ego?
The question is, you may also answer that, is the Congress too touchy, or BJP's behavior towards opposition has not changed?
I'm asking a question back. Taking up 2 crores of students' issue who are in pain, who prepared for almost 1 year plus, and asking for a sense of urgency with respect to an intervention, is that a touchiness, or is that a matter of fact which is required to be addressed at the earliest with utmost importance by keeping all other priorities aside? So we say that no, it is a matter of importance, it is a matter of urgency which has to be addressed by the government on a war footing basis. Where is that? What is the clarity of when these exams are going to be held again? What is the clarity that how the trust of the examinations will be guaranteed to the students again when it is being conducted again, and how their year, which is going to be one particular academic year, is under question? So who is going to answer all these questions? So somebody has to take it up. I don't think that it is anything of touchiness, but it is a responsibility of the opposition to get the government to be accountable for what is happening, and also to give a time-bound reply as well as actions and decisions on the particular matter for the students of India.
Okay, Mr. Kochital, let me get you in here. Do you think that the Congress was being too touchy, or the behavior of the government has not changed?
Let me correct Rahul Gandhi and his party men also. 2 crore students didn't appear for the exam. Just 23,36,000 students who appeared for the exam. Anyway, numbers are not important. The thought processes. 2 things. The Supreme Court is seized with the issue. So what we call technically is the matter is sub judice. When the matter is sub judice, usually you don't discuss it in public platform, because tomorrow the Supreme Court can pull up and ask, who are you to discuss it when we are dealing with it? We will leave it at that also. The third thing, it is as if the paper leak has happened for the first time. It never happened. Rahul Gandhi never commented when a paper leak happened in Rajasthan. Not once, not twice, but 6 times. And even the Rajasthan Chief Minister, then Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot says, I knew what happened. And we know everywhere in the country, there have been numerous paper leaks happening everywhere. Even in the state where I come from, Hyderabad, Telangana, we had paper leaks on the entire exams for the last almost 3 rounds of the state selection got cancelled. Even now the exams are not being held, only 1 round has been held. So it keeps happening and happening and happening. The question is very simple. Question is, one is, of course, the 2 crores is not there, but the question is also about NEET exam. Now the point is, everybody knows, and even the Supreme Court said this very, very clearly, that we know who is behind this. Why are the coaching institutes jumping into this? Obviously, because there is a huge mafia, coaching mafia out here, which ranges from Kota to Hyderabad, who want full-page ads released with crores, 10 to 15 crores released, worth of ads released in newspapers, claiming that their students came first. The rat race starts there. Everybody wants a first rank. Everybody wants to show that their students are the first 100 top rankers in IIT or JEE or NEET or whatever it is. The question is simple. How is IIT JEE conducted without any problem? How is NEET conducted with a problem? That is the issue there. One is, of course, a paper-based test. Another is a computerized-based test. We also saw one case where a student was asked to be proceeded against legally.
Mr. Kochison, can I just interject? Because the real issue is, because now Rahul Gandhi is just not an MP, he's leader of opposition. I have also covered parliament for 18 long years. It's very rare that the mic of the LoP goes off. Even the best of the senior parliamentarians, the mics can go off, but very rare. I have not seen, I've covered both the houses, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. It's very rare for the chair to any reporter to see that the mic goes off. I'm joined by another person, KV Prasad, who has more experience of reporting parliament than me. KV, do you think that this was one of the rare instances where the mic went off?
Well, I think, Kartikeya, you just said what you said. I heard. The fact is, it's very rare. None. But remember, the opposition has been talking of it in the last 17 Lok Sabha too. And also in Rajya Sabha, in the previous sessions, there have been accusations from the opposition that whenever something inconvenient was being said, the mic was switched off. In fact, if you remember, it was during the farm laws issue. Sukhbir Singh Badal was speaking, and he was at that time opposing and wanted to withdraw. And at that point of time, suddenly his voice trailed off. And his party members kept on saying, our mic went off. So this is something which doesn't happen, should not happen, because, of course, the chair has the authority to say, a member, your time is running out. They give the warning signals or caution by ringing the bell or telling them, your time is up, please wind up.
KV, I'm making a distinction. I'm making a distinction because, we have to understand, we are also talking in context of leader of opposition. Who have been the leader of opposition in Lok Sabha? L.K. Advani, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Indira Gandhi, Sharad Pawar, Sushma Swaraj. So we are talking about a different category of leaders. Whether people like it or not, Rahul has made that, Mr. Gandhi has made that transition. And I do not recall time where LoP's mic has gone off, But I do not recall in my memory when, and I have covered Rajya Sabha also, when Arun Jaitley's mic was switched off. Or when Sushma Swaraj's mic was switched off, or when, I don't know, Advani's mic got switched off. It's a very rare thing. Mic switching off of MPs, I am not surprised. It happens all the time. All the time.
No,
BJP has done it and Congress has done it. My question was in context of LoP.
You're right. That's why I said, Kartikeya, when you talked of mic switching off, I gave you a general, the tendency, what happens when it happens. But in case of LoP, the LoP has a privilege. When the LoP stands up and wants to say something, the floor proceedings stop and give space to the LoP to say what the LoP wants to say on a particular point of order or point of issue. And the LoP is heard in full attention. The time is given for him and her, whoever as the case may be, for the LoP to complete it. And today, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, we all saw the clip which you ran a little while ago, saying, please let me have my mic back. So, and we heard Mr. Speaker Birla say, no, I don't have the control panel here and things like that. But somehow it leaves a very, in the start of the session, you don't expect such an unsavory kind of argument between the chair and the leader of the opposition.
Vijesh, is it because of the fact that, the government is not able to come to terms with the fact that the person whom they berated for 10 years as a Shehzada is actually the LoP?
Well, one thing is very clear that yes, the government is yet to come to terms with the fact that they are no longer the party with an absolute majority on its own. Now the power has to be shared with other NDA allies, and they don't have that they are not on that kind of show footing as they were. Honestly speaking, many believe that last 5 years, the behavior of the speaker was much more cordial, I would say, with the opposition, especially the Congress party, than of what I have seen in the last couple of days. You know, I mean, this exchange of dialogues between Speaker Om Birla and Dipender Hooda left a lot to be desired. I mean, you know, I can understand that that you know, you may disagree with somebody or you want to put down a member of parliament, but the way the entire you know, conversation went left a bad taste in mouth. That was completely unbecoming of the stature of the speaker, especially more so when the person is becoming the speaker for the second time. So there's an unnecessary hostility as well.
Are you witnessing that in both the houses?
I wouldn't say that in both the houses, but yes, in the Rajya Sabha also, you know, like I was watching because
a major spat happened.
The Lok Sabha, you know, got you know, adjourned for the whole day. A couple of times it got adjourned for the whole day. I saw, you know, how the chair was specially going after the Trinamool Congress. You know, starting with Sagarika Ghosh, then went with Saket Gokhale, and then with Derek O'Brien. So I'm just saying that, you know, when there's a whole host of opposition leaders and all, the chair can also, like, you know, breathe a little easy, and it's not the end of the world, you know.
People,
you are the government. There's nobody.
If you recall, people used to joke after 2007, when Mr. Ansari was appointed as the vice president, that we have got a teacher as the vice chairman. Now the joke is we've got a headmaster. See, I you know, of my experience in covering the parliament, I have always seen that that, you know, that chair is, there are instances when, you know, there's a heated argument. But you had Bhairo Singh Shekhawat, great wit.
Absolutely. I mean, but I think, you know, I mean, the kind of hostility which I am witnessing in both houses does leave a lot to be desired.
I'll come to that. I'll come to that. Anthony, do you think that the chair is being unfair with the opposition, or is it because of the fact that they cannot come to terms with the fact that, you know, Rahul Gandhi is not just an MP or a senior MP or a third-term MP. He's leader of opposition, a position which has a say in parliament, a position which has been occupied by people like Indira Gandhi, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, L.K. Advani, Sushma Swaraj, Sharad Pawar, a position which has a say.
First of all, Modi is finding it difficult to taste the defeat which they have had in this Lok Sabha election. I'll just take you to the numbers. 303 seats of last time, they lost 92 sitting seats and they won new 32 seats. Out of that, 19 came from Orissa and the rest of the ones came in as 1 and 2s. Now, they have to be conditional with their NDA allies right now, and they can't exercise their brutal oppression, which they did, you know, in the last 10 years' time. And if you look at the body language of the speaker, he is no longer occupying an office which should have given out the trust to all the parties in the parliament to come to the speaker's house and look for a judicious and a just and a fair decision. Now he has become a complete party man of BJP. Even the vice chairman of the Rajya Sabha also is becoming very oppressive in their decisions or in their acts of ruling both the houses. So they have come to they have still not got a reality check that they are no longer having that ultimate majority within themselves to run the house the way in which they wanted to. The current speaker of the Lok Sabha also has the worst history of suspending 142 MPs. So, and the speaker is also, I think he has identified or he has realized the fact that he is serving his last term and he may not even have the 5 years left with him to be the speaker. So he is actually behaving in a completely different manner, in a very rude manner, not befitting the office of the speaker when compared to the last time how he was
Mr.
occupied.
Anthony, here I would like to differ. You know, I would say this is a very solid coalition government. It's going to last full term. Vajpayee could done it with 181 and I think more than 20 allies. They will. But my question is very simple, and it does not draw from sitting in the studios. I draw my questions for the hard work I have done in covering both houses of the parliament, and that is that I have seen LoP getting a special treatment. Mr. Kochetel.
Exactly.
Mr. Kochetel.
Can I?
Yes. Then, you know, Mr. Kochetel was very patient. I'll come to you. Let me go to Mr. Kochetel. You know, do you think that, you know, BJP has not come to terms that this person has become leader of opposition?
I think let me correct you all. You said, you all covered parliament and you all covered for 15, 20 years and all. When Sushma Swaraj was speaking on the Telangana, this is Andhra and Telangana bifurcation bill, not just the mic, the entire camera was switched off. We never ever heard what she spoke. Became a big issue, but Congress said, sorry, that time it had to be switched off. The cameras never came on. It came on only after she finished speaking and when the bill was put to vote. So let me correct you here. It was not just a mic. Even the Congress has switched off the camera of the leader of opposition, Sushma Swaraj, then. Second thing, we are all berating the speaker, forgetting that he is holding a constitutional post. Even the vice president's name was dragged in just now. I mean, it is really bad taste in the mouth to do something like that, where even the vice president is bad mouth saying that he's a party man. We should all hold our horses. Okay, the speaker might behave in a different manner, but we have no right to sit here and tell the speaker how he should run the house. Tomorrow he can even call you for, a contempt of whatever the house, and he can call you the privileges committee. Tomorrow it may happen. It has happened before also. So let us hold our horses. Let us see what the speaker has said. The speaker has told Rahul Gandhi, you had your time. You have the full time of your party.
Surajji, nobody is casting aspersion on speaker. Everyone knows that the speaker is a constitutional post.
It was cast.
Nobody did.
I think the word, just rewind your tape back and listen to what was said by the Congress.
No. But we were discussing about the speaker's behavior with a particular MP. I mean, what is wrong in that?
No. He said he's like behaving like a party man. He doesn't even have 5 years to run. What is that?
No. That is said by the Congress spokesperson. So that is said by the Congress spokesperson.
No.
So it's not like.
If you read the rules and regulations of the Information and Broadcasting Ministry, and I'm a media guy for 38 years now, I can tell you that the anchor has to cut and hold the people who are speaking on the
Mr.
debate.
Mr. Kochetil, come on, I don't hold the brief for the Bharatiya Janata Party. Neither I hold the brief for the Congress Party. And I think, yes, I'm very proud of covering the parliament for 18 years. I know you might have covered the parliament more than me, but I know when the breach happened and I know when the speaker can call a journalist.
But you
and
never
I think
said
the
about
beauty of our
Sushma
Indian
Swaraj's camera
constitution
being
and a
switched
liberal
off.
democracy
You said it never happened.
लोगों की
You
इतनी
never
पतली
spoke.
स्किन नहीं होती है और पतली स्किन
Sushma
वही होती है
Swaraj's camera being
जहां
switched
डंडा
off
दिखाना
was-
पड़ता है.
No, we stand corrected. If that happened, we stand corrected. Nobody is God.
It's not about stand. It's not being about stand
For the
corrected.
first time in
It is
the
like one of
history
those
of
debates on
Parliament.
Manipur, and a gentleman said, "I'm going to complain to the general because some guest said, ki, I have a different opinion on Assam rifle." I said, "For God's sake, this is just a conversation." And he said, "मैं तो general साहब को complain कर दूँगा."
Conversations have to be civil. We are not here
Sir,
sitting in judgment of a
I
vice
think the
president
most
of
civil
India
conversations you find
who
on
holds
the
a
News 9 live, Mr.
constitutional
Kochetil.
post. Let me
I
correct
think
you.
if
who
you
holds a
watch other
constitutional-
TV channels, sir, if you watch
Well, I
other
don't
TV
have-
channels, you'll
well,
know the level of conversations that happens, sir.
No,
No,
I know
I
all
have
of
to.
them.
No. Please complete your point. I will not disturb you. Complete your point.
So my point is very simple: is okay, you want to have a civilized debate, you can always say Rahul Gandhi was not allowed. It is not done. But the way you say that you badmouth Modi and say Modi doesn't know, Modi is arrogant, speaker is arrogant, you talk your point, boss. What did your guys say? When the Supreme Court tomorrow will overturn anything that Parliament has said, what will you do then? You'll say Supreme Court is wrong because you have said that before, that the Supreme Court runs as per Modi's wishes. The army runs as per Modi's wishes. This is exactly what it is. These are institutions. Hold them,
Opposition
please.
was insulted.
Tomorrow, July 8th,
Leader of
the
opposition was
Supreme Court is
insulted
hearing the
by
case.
the speaker, by the government of India. And if there is, and the leader of opposition only requested that we hold a joint consultation
Why did you guys switch off the
in the
camera of
parliament
Sushma
on the
Swaraj?
NEET.
Why did your party switch off the camera of Sushma Swaraj when she was speaking on Telangana? Answer that first.
Let us talk. I'm not, as the anchor also said, I am not aware of that one. I will stand corrected. I'll check the information on that one and I'll give an opinion on that one. Now let us say that. Let us say this: why the leader of opposition was insulted by the speaker.
He was
of
not
the House,
insulted. He
as
was
well as
told
by the
where to
government,
get off.
as well as by the government of India, led by the Prime Minister.
You are trying to put
And
him
the
on a
leader of
pedestal
opposition
which is
was
not
only
there.
demanding a joint discussion between the
not been
government
insulted.
and the opposition to give trust and confidence to the students not taking a decision. And it has been so many days that the NEET exams have been rescheduled and there is no clarity to the students on what is going to happen with their future. Is the government and the parliament accountable to the students?
But what about the Supreme Court? Tomorrow Supreme Court overturns you. What do you do
The
then?
Supreme Court is going to decide on the Supreme Court is going to decide on what are the fault which has happened with the exam.
No.
But
Sorry.
what is the clarity?
Supreme Court can overturn the entire exam.
What is the clarity which you are going to give the students as a government?
Will you then say
Okay,
Supreme
you can give the clarity to the students on what you are going to give an affidavit to the Supreme Court.
Is wrong? Please answer my question. You
No,
can't.
I
your
am not
leader
saying
of
Supreme Court is
so-called leader of
wrong.
opposition
I am
cannot
not saying
overrule
Supreme
the
Court is
Supreme Court of
wrong.
India. He's
I'm
already
not
said
saying
he
that.
called
I'm not saying that.
these are the
Mr.
party which called
Kochetil,
the
you
army
are
chief
just
a
drawing your
Sadaka Gunda.
assumptions, whereas I am saying that the leader of opposition,
Your party
gracefully requested the parliament and the government of India to hold a joint consultation
your party
to
is the
see
one that
what
held
answer
Malakot
we
never
can give
happened.
to the NEET
Surgical
students
strike never
as well
happened.
as to the
Wait a
other
minute,
competitive
we
exam
know-
students.
Wait a minute.
Is that a
Wait a
wrong
minute.
thing?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me first play out the bite of Dharmendra Pradhan, because we had discussed NEET and the whole context was on NEET. The government said that we are ready to discuss the matter. So let's play out that bite first.
कल परम आदरणीय राष्ट्रपति महोदया जी ने अपने प्रारंभिक भाषण में परीक्षा के ऊपर खुद ही एड्रेस किया। ये सरकार की इंटेंशन को प्रतीत करती है कि हम कोई भी विषय को सामना करने के लिए प्रस्तुत है, जो तथ्य हम समाज में रखना चाहते हैं। अगर आज प्रतिपक्ष धन्यवाद प्रस्ताव पे चर्चा करते हुए, जिसको दोनों सदनों के अध्यक्ष ने उनको यही परंपरा की याद दिलाई कि राष्ट्रपति अभिभाषण के उपरांत जो धन्यवाद प्रस्ताव होती है, उस समय में कोई अर्जनमेंट मोशन वगैरह, स्थगन आदेश वगैरह का कोई उसका परंपरा इस हाउस में नहीं है। जब राष्ट्रपति जी ने खुद परीक्षा को उल्लेख किया है, आप उसको धन्यवाद प्रस्ताव में बोलते हुए आप आपकी मत रखो, आपको जो कहना है, जो आलोचना करना है, जो सुझाव देना है रखो। हम तो प्रारंभिक दिनों से कहते हैं कि हमारी दायित्व, सरकार की दायित्व देश की नौजवानों की प्रति है, देश के विद्यार्थियों की प्रति है। हम सारा विषय स्पष्टता के साथ आप लोगों के माध्यम से देश के सामने रखे हैं।
So, Mr. Matthew, the Education Minister is saying that they are ready to discuss it. They are not going to run away. He has put it on record.
When are they going to discuss it? What is the sense of urgency being shown by the government? The lakhs of students who have appeared, their families compounded together to the crores. That is exactly what the leader of opposition was asking. Where is the sense of urgency of this government to discuss such a large issue where a trust deficit has happened on NTA, which is running all the competitive exams? So, if the government is going to discuss at their own convenience, by hanging the future of the students completely and their families, don't we have the responsibility as the opposition to raise that issue?
The opposition must have its say, and the government must have its way. So you will have your say, but the government will have its way.
As an opposition, it is our responsibility, it is our duty, and as a leader of the opposition, our leader has taken the responsibility and the duty rightfully, asking the government, let's kind of sit down, let's discuss, let's give the trust to the students. Why are we waiting? Who are we waiting for? Where is the sense of urgency? Okay. Are we going to take this when?
I think Mr. Kochital wanted to say something. Sir, you wanted to come in?
Somebody switched off my mic, by the way. That's what happened.
No.
Anyway, no. Nice try.
No one switched off your mic. Doesn't happen in this show. Please. No, doesn't happen in this show.
I'm just trying to say, what are we trying to discredit? Okay, I'm just trying to say, paper leakage never happened before 2014. Everything was hunky-dory. Everything was being discussed in Parliament, by the way. Even when the railway exam papers were leaked, somebody called Lalu Prasad Yadav sold railway exam papers to students whose land was taken away. And this is a court judgment. I'm not quoting anybody. This is the person whose son sits in the parliament.
I have a small question to you.
Matthew, please, please let Mr. Suresh complete. Please let him complete.
So my point is simple. I'm saying have discussion by all means. But let it not be a finger-pointing exercise saying, oh, you guys did it, we never did it. We never had any railway accidents in our tenure. All trains were running perfectly. There were more accidents during your tenure. I'm not saying an accident is an accident. Paper leakage, I can come with 100 instances of paper leakage during your UPA 1, UPA 2 and Congress before that. Lalu's case is a classic case in point, where the entire process was kind of sold. Students' plots were taken. Why are you not speaking about that? He was convicted by the court for that. He took the land away from children who wanted jobs in railways. What more criminal act can be than that? But Congress doesn't speak a word about that. Rahul Gandhi doesn't speak a word about that in Parliament. That is exactly the point. The only thing that Congress wants to do right now is discredit Modi. Modi will not survive 5. Who are you to say that? Where did Manmohan Singh have majority in 1 and 2? He never had that many seats as Modi has now. But didn't he survive 5 years, 10 years? Did Narasimha Rao have majority? He didn't have. Let Modi leave as long as he wants his kind of government leave it. You are nobody to judge that. When it happens, it happens. That is my point. You kind of judging. You are wishing Modi government goes. Sorry, boss, as Karthikeya or somebody was saying earlier, they will survive the full term. Sorry, you live with that. Okay? Simple as the leader of opposition has to be sensible. The speaker told him very clearly, 33 minutes or 40 minutes is given to your party. Rahul Gandhi wants to use all the 40 minutes. That is the problem. He told him, you take your time, whether your own time or your party's entire time. The party has given a list of 6 speakers. And he wants to take over the time of other speakers also.
Fair. I think, sir, you made your point. Sureshji, you made your point. Mr. Anthony.
I am asking a question to Suresh as well as to the audience that when the other government was there, it happened. So this government can also do this one. You came into power saying that no, the whole wrong things happened during the other government. So we are coming here to correct it. And where is the correction? It is happening in a much more worse manner than how it was happening earlier. So where is it? So we are asking a question. You came into power. You gave the question now.
Let him complete. Yeah, complete your argument, Matthew.
So then, are you saying that, the previous governments did wrong, so we will also do the same wrong thing or even much more? You also made a statement that Ashok Gehlot addressed the issue of the paper leak. Okay, this has happened, so we will do that one. Where is Mr. Modi addressing this? Has he even touched this topic? He has not touched.
What did Ashok Gehlot say? Did you hear what he said? He said, I know how it happens. I know how it happens, but I cannot do anything about it.
Let me, I didn't interrupt you this time. Let me complete it this time. Okay, so you might be favoring Modi, but that doesn't, you cannot criticize the Modi government. Because where is the Prime Minister in such an information technology age, when such large-scale cheating has happened, when such large-scale corruption has happened, where is the Prime Minister even acknowledging or giving a sense of responsibility, sense of ownership and sense of trust to the students to trust it? Let's not bring Lalu Prasad Yadav, which has happened, he got convicted. Let's speak about what is happening right now. Let's speak about what is happening. There's no point in speaking the past.
You have to bring Lalu Prasad Yadav.
He was convicted.
He is a member of India Alliance, so-called India Alliance, dotted alliance.
You have to bring him. So what is the point in saying that one?
Yes,
exactly.
You have to bring him.
So what is the point in saying that one? Let us speak about the current government.
NTA is being discussed. Lalu's exams of Railway Board has to be discussed. The entire Railway Board exams were a sham. Thousands of youngsters who are working in railways now came through the system of paying land.
Where is the responsibility being taken by this government?
You can't have.
Let's not talk about the past.
Let me tell you one thing, Mr. Let me tell you one thing. You asked me a question, let me answer it. You said that the Modi government came in and it all happened. 10 years did it happen? 10 years did the exam leak? NEET exam leak? Your guys in Tamil Nadu sold seats. Your guys in the Supreme Court said very clearly.
Mr. Suresh,
NEET will not be
Matthew.
Sorry, I want to take him off. He can't get away with this.
Suresh,
he can't get away with.
There are two things to it. One, I just played out the bite of Dharmendra Pradhan. Yes, I was the one who said this is the most stable coalition government. We have seen the government.
A lot depends, Karthik. A lot depends on.
Let me just complete. It is the most stable government in context of numbers. Vajpayee had 181. Manmohan Singh had 147, then 209. This government has 240 seats. So in context of one party under the rubric of a coalition, it's the biggest party. That's the fact. That's the fact. It's a parliamentary fact. The second thing I said, are they getting irritated because Rahul Gandhi has become an...
Of course they are getting irritated.
Three things. Let me put it on record. The second thing I said, is the government getting irritated? The guy who was the focus of the attention has suddenly become the leader of opposition. So there is a behavioral arrangement which has not taken place. And the third thing is, which I am putting out on record and say, is it because that NEET has become a sort of a hot potato issue, which is slightly difficult to handle because the person who is running the ministry has been the minister of the department for 7 years. Has that become an issue?
Well, I think what has become the issue is that
because we started from the mic.
See, I'm telling you what has the issue become is that this issue was being investigated by Bihar government. The EOU was investigating this particular case. We all knew that case has come to a level where they are actively considering arresting couple of people and others. And the government, the Dharmendra Pradhan maintained right from day one that that nothing wrong has happened. NTA is a woe and it must be localized. From there to come to a level where 4 examinations were cancelled. Or deferred to it by NTA in a span of 4-5 days. It did raise questions. And later on the government announced, once the DG NTA was shunted and the CBI investigation was announced.
Okay. But the bottom line here is, and that's my question first to Suresh Kochital and then I'll go to Mr. Anthony. Is this the reflection of the next 4 years? A lot of edits have been written. Both of you must have read it in newspapers on the way Treasury and the opposition benches are reacting, the way they are reacting to each other. Is this the true reflection of the way Parliament is going to function?
I thought the BJP was not aggressive at all in the first 10 years. Absolutely. Let me tell you, at least in the media, they were never there. The kind of fake news that was circulated this morning about the Delhi airport, pathetic. You wanted to claim that Modi inaugurated an airport and Congress spokespersons, including their so-called fact checkers, went to town with it. What are you celebrating? And when it is pointed out that part was inaugurated during 2009, everybody went silent. This is what I'm saying. Why do you celebrate tragedies? These people are apt at celebrating tragedies. They are not. Mr. Anthony is not willing to speak on Lalu Prasad Yadav.
But that's that is a very different debate, because 2009, 2014. I mean, I'm appalled by the way Delhi's infrastructure collapsed. That's a different debate altogether. And for the first time, the
ask me about Hyderabad. I can tell you about Hyderabad. One small rain and we have everything, swimming pools out here. It happened yesterday. It happened day
the
first
Lutyens Delhi, which is supposed to have the best storm drainage system, was deluged. MPs were carried out by people. They're all over the place. So that's a different debate for me. It's just not about people dying or getting hurt. It's about what are we building in context of climate change.
I'll tell you what. Give me a minute and I'll just explain to you. The NEET exam fiasco happened. It is under investigation. The Supreme Court is hearing the final batch of petitions on July 8th. The Supreme Court said we will not stop the counselling process. Let the counselling process happen, and then we will take a call on what to do. Remember, before this, there were 3 times when the NEET exams results in the previous dispensation had to be pulled back. And the NEET was brought in because the colleges in Tamil Nadu especially were selling seats to medical students at over 1 crore of rupees. And the Supreme Court said this, I didn't say it. And that is why many times Stalin government wants to put down NEET. Understand, I might understand, yes, there might have been leakages, I'm not saying no. But let the investigation get completed. Bihar EOU says we arrested 4 guys, they gave 4 hall tickets. And the NTA now says those 4 guys never appeared for the exams. Now imagine that tomorrow Supreme Court says there's nothing in it, like Rafale happened. What will you say then? You went to town with Rafale for about 3 months. Rahul Gandhi went to town for about 6 months.
But Suresh, it's not like nothing happened. The EOU were investigating, and the EOU investigation has been taken over by CBI. CBI has arrested 2 more people in that particular case. Who are they arresting for? Because initially the HRD minister was in complete denial about it. What are you saying?
I think it's time to...
From saying that there is nothing wrong that happened in NTA, then why did you cancel this examination? What are you saying? Just because you belong to a political party doesn't mean that...
Let the investigation get
completed. Let it. So who is denying it? Who is denying it?
Anthony.
Who is denying it? Anthony. But saying that Supreme Court will overturn it. What do you mean by Supreme Court will overturn it? What will Supreme Court overturn it?
Supreme Court can
overturn. What will Supreme Court overturn? Saying that nothing happened, and if nothing happened, then why was CBI investigation ordered?
Yeah, exactly.
They should have waited till 8 June. Then why did the government order the CBI investigation? They should have also waited for
the Supreme Court says we are the final authority.
Everyone knows Supreme Court is the final authority, chief. No, exactly. It's not nobody. Why did you order CBI inquiry?
I think the Parliament is the supreme authority, except the basic structure of the Constitution. Fair enough. Anthony, you wanted to come in?
Yes.
Please.
I am shocked by the response that there is nothing wrong which has happened by the BJP government in the last 10 years. They were so diplomatic. They were so arrogant in the last 10 years that in the last parliament, they suspended 142 MPs. They passed 62 bills out of the 172 without even a 1-hour discussion. They passed 20 bills without even having the opposition or anybody in the house. And what are you saying about this arrogance of the last 10 years of Modi? And that's exactly what we are kind of worried about for the people of India. And in this government where there is a strong opposition, where we are ready to offer a consultative approach, the Modi government is shying away from a consultative approach. Mr. Kochatal is so blind about the opposition, and he is so praiseworthy about Modi. That is not our problem, but we are responsible for the people of India. When you say that this government is doing wrong, you bring about the vast wrongs of the other government. It doesn't help.
This is like a heady Friday evening, but the bottom line here is that I think numbers are speaking. The numbers are speaking, and I always maintain that what has happened in this Lok Sabha, and I said this, and I felt it the day the numbers concretized, that there will be confidence projected by the Congress party. They are a triple-digit party now. The first two in 2014 and 2019, they were double-digit party. 50s and 40s, there was a lack of confidence. There was complete disorder. The primes of the Congress had lost the election. But then, the government still has 240, but because the way they fought the election, that they'll abki baar 400 par, the bonhomie that could have been there is not there, because they feel that any flexibility would show them as weak. And the Congress is behaving the way any resurgent opposition party would behave. I think people should recall those were non-TV days, but I was a student when BJP got, I think, 80 plus seats. I think 50 plus from Uttar Pradesh in the elections, the way they behaved in parliament, because it was the confidence. Though they only ended up with, only ended up with 121 in 1991, but the confidence that they exuded was the numbers they got. 2 to 85.
There's also one.
Just let me complete it, because they jumped from 2 to 85. When Congress has jumped from 52 to 99 and adding those 2 MPs, making it 3 MPs, making 103, is the function of the number. But I think this mic, the ability to create confidence between 2 sides is very, very important. Very, very important.
सर माइक तो दे दीजिए.
माइक मैं बंद नहीं करता हूं. पूर्व में भी आपको व्यवस्था दी थी. यहां कोई बटन नहीं होता. राष्ट्रपति अभिभाषण पर माननीय प्रतिपक्ष के नेता, मेरा विषय है कि आपको दोनों, आप जितना आपकी पार्टी का समय आप पूरा भी ले सकते हैं, मुझे कोई आपत्ति नहीं. आप डिटेल में बोलना, लेकिन एडजॉर्जमेंट मोशन पर और अन्य विषयों पर पहले ही व्यवस्था दे चुके हैं. इसलिए मैं सदन से आग्रह करूंगा कि आप प्रतिपक्ष के नेता हैं, आप संसदीय मर्यादाओं का पालन करेंगे, ऐसी मेरी अपेक्षा है आपसे.
हिंदुस्तान के जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं उनको हम जॉइंट मैसेज देना चाहते थे.
हाँ दें. आप
सुनिए. जॉइंट मैसेज देना चाहते थे ऑपोजिशन और सरकार के साइड से कि इस मुद्दे को हम ज़रूरी मानते हैं, और इसीलिए हमने सोचा था कि आज स्टूडेंट्स की रिस्पेक्ट करने के लिए हम नीट पर डिस्कशन करें.